Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Paul. For 50 years, I've watched Washington betray the American people with dishonest money. Nixon's closure of the gold window made endless debt and war inevitable. Today, our middle class, our currency, and our economy are dying in real time. In my new book, Dispatches to Future Generations, I reveal how we got here, plus the solution, gold. And that's why I'm partnering with Birch Gold Group to give you a free copy of my book along with their free info kit on gold. Click below to get both right now. Inside the info kit, you'll learn how to move your IRA or 401k into physical gold. So click below to claim your free copy of my Dispatches to Future Generations and Birch Gold's info kit.
On the Inside with your host, James O'Keefe, starts right now. Here on Real America's Voice.
James O'Keefe here reporting from Los Angeles, downtown in front of City Hall. They're having all the protests against ICE. Last night, the mob overtaking the federal building housing the federal courthouse here in Los Angeles. They're yelling quite loud. How are you? What's that?
Tell the truth.
I am telling the truth. Yeah. She's yelling at us. She's saying that we're telling lies. But we're here outside the City Hall, and we have been undercover inside the ICE protests, reporting on what is happening and who is behind them, looking at the different tables outside of City Hall. We even paid a visit to Skid Row, downtown. They're having loud horns, loud noises, so that they can disrupt anyone trying to communicate with each other. What we've uncovered out here is so scandalous, elaborate, and illegal that it's going to be a multiple-part series. I myself went undercover as a homeless person, reporting on the NGOs, reporting on what is happening all throughout the city of Los Angeles and Southern California. Stay tuned for that next week. Over the last few months, I've said that if arrests do not happen, if people are not held to account, then we'll have no choice but to investigate the investigators themselves, investigate the prosecutors themselves at every level. We understand that incentives govern human behavior more than virtue does, and people are demanding that people be held accountable. People are reminding you that we're a nation of laws. But that only works if the people in government, if the people in power do the right thing. What we found out in Minnesota last week was that there was no laws, no incentive for law enforcement officers to do the right thing at all. In fact, the police left the area because it would be punishing for them to uphold the law. And we find that happening at every single level in our country, that there is no reward in holding anybody accountable. So now the question is, what will it take to get accountability and arrests? And we believe that what it will take is oversight, watching the watchmen, or in Latin, quis custodiae ipsos custodes, who guards the guardsmen? Where is the Department of Justice? Where is the federal government? And why aren't they doing their jobs? What is actually going on in the nation's capital? We decided to take a look. Now there's what they say on the record, and there's what they say when no one is looking.
I hear he's like a diva. Is that true?
110% he's a diva.
Are you serious?
110%.
Oh.
He's lazy as hell. He's not good at his job.
So you don't think there's going to be any like major arrests, like with Cash Patel or
No.
FBI?
No. Also, I don't think anybody would ever go to prison.
Our investigation led us to an FBI security specialist who, on hidden camera, this FBI security specialist tells us the quiet part out loud. And as I do this report, the protesters are filtering into Los Angeles, one of them yelling at me to stop lying. I question any of them to actually tell me what I am lying about. We literally see their lips moving in our undercover report.
I am a security specialist at the FBI. I've been working there for 5 years now. I was under Biden first.
Now, when you watch this man is either a Biden holdover speaking out of turn, or he is telling the truth, describing a system that walks out investigations for years past the point where the president is in power. What this official inside the FBI says is very troubling and potentially revealing about how the Department of Justice actually operates. People are more honest when they don't know they're being recorded. And that's not all. This same FBI official we caught on tape admits that even under Kash Patel, there will be no arrests of people in the deep state in the near future. Not exactly surprising considering the lack of action we've seen so far.
Do you think, like, your job, like the FBI, do you think they're going to arrest people, like, that are dealing with the daycare stuff?
The thing with those cases is that I think by the time that case is done, even being, like, looked at, being ready to go to court, Trump won't even be in office.
Really?
Fraud cases like that, like money stuff,
Yeah.
years, literal years of time.
You don't think the FBI would arrest them, even though Trump would be like, please arrest them?
I don't think so, because over and over and over again, it's been shown it doesn't work. It's not working. Also, I don't think anybody would ever go to prison. Like, they would most likely be thrown out very quickly.
Now, thanks to the brave work of citizen journalists like Nick Shirley, Americans were able to see what actually happens in Minnesota outside these daycare centers. Now, according to this FBI official, he's saying that accountability and justice is not coming. Why? He says the FBI and the Department of Justice walk these investigations out. They actually might take years, literal years, like 5 years. And by that time, the executive branch of government shifts power, the pendulum swings, and the people are never held to account.
They're going to try and pin it on somebody and make it seem like a crime, like a very serious crime.
Pin it on somebody? Like,
Pin it on one of those people who runs those daycares. They need somebody to take the fall.
oh, okay.
And we're just gonna point
Do
somebody.
you know who that would be?
No idea.
But that's what they do, though. They just pick someone and be like, this is our guy, and everyone else would go free?
That sometimes happens, yeah. Charging somebody for anything financial,
Yeah.
for one person can take literally years. I've seen it. It can take years because you have to look at all the money, all the accounts, all the transactions, all the payments, everything. You have to look at everything.
Now, according to this FBI official, the plan isn't to dismantle the Minnesota daycare fraud, but to find a fall guy. He tells us the Bureau will pin it on somebody. Not the entire network, not who's behind it, not the people moving the money, but one daycare operator. So this man in the FBI, Justin Devine, a teacher now turned FBI, has been in his role at the FBI since 2021. Remember, that's the year the FBI raided our newsroom. And Justin has been in charge of these investigations, including human trafficking cases, background checks, and occasionally handling classified material for the FBI. There's always the irony of someone in the FBI who handles classified information speaking out of turn, talking to total strangers.
I was under Biden first.
Oh, yeah. What was that? Was it different? No.
Way different. Everything was better.
Really? Yeah.
Everything just felt better. People were happier. My real boss is Kash Patel. Hey, he's all right. He's short though.
Yeah.
He's real short. He's like
I hear he's like a diva. Is that true?
110%. He's a diva.
Are you serious?
110%.
My dad is a Trump supporter.
Right?
And he really seems to like this bonding.
I met her another time for another thing I was doing. There's a bunch of stuff at DOJ at the Department of Justice building that we needed to get and bring it back to our office.
Okay.
So she works there.
Oh, what were you bringing back?
Hard drives and computers and all
Oh,
sorts
for a
of things.
case?
Yes, for a huge case.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, what case were you working on?
This was a human trafficking case.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that case is not closed yet.
Dang, where did that happen?
Here.
Here?
DC. Yeah.
DC?
Yeah.
Trafficking?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. I met one of the victims.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh.
Young girl, like a 19-year-old, 18-year-old.
Oh, that's so sad.
I know, it's horrible. She was.
Dang.
Yeah, no, it was horrible.
How did that trafficking happen?
Well,
Do you know where they came from?
Eastern Europe.
Now, for reference, Justin Devine clearly showcases he is not a fan of the current leadership and Kash Patel at the FBI. He's not a fan of his boss. We're sure there's many more like him inside the Bureau, but rarely do you see them on tape like this.
So essentially, Kash Patel's kind of lazy.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow.
He's lazy as hell. But I
You like him?
He's not good at this job. I'm just a normal employee, and even I'm like, you're not good at this, man. You shouldn't be doing this.
Really?
He just wasn't ready.
Really?
No, I just don't think he's smart enough to do it. Being the director is like you are the face of the whole organization. You're gonna be out in public all the time.
Yes.
And he is just so bad at doing that.
No way.
That it kind of ruins our whole reputation.
Devine goes further. On hidden camera, this FBI official flatly states that the Bureau will not arrest any so-called deep staters that President Trump says he wants to go after. Devine also says that judges will continue to throw out any cases brought to them regarding these so-called deep state officials. He says Trump's word, quote, isn't the end-all be-all.
So I keep hearing that Trump wants to arrest his enemies. Do you think that's gonna happen? Do you think the FBI will arrest?
No.
You don't think so?
He tried already.
He tried already?
He tried to arrest James Comey,
Okay.
who's the former director of the FBI. Wait, like old director of the FBI.
Yeah.
He tried to arrest him, and then he went to trial, and then literally the judge said no.
Really?
Threw it out.
So you don't think there's going to be any major arrests with Kash Patel or
No.
the FBI
No.
in the near future? Okay, so Trump, if he would tell you guys to arrest these people in 2026, wouldn't it have to be done?
No. He doesn't. His word is not end all be all.
So the FBI official here describes how the FBI will essentially walk out the Minnesota fraud scheme until President Trump leaves office. Why does it take an FBI security specialist randomly talking to one of our undercover people for us to get the truth out of the administration? Why isn't the FBI saying it publicly behind the podium in Washington, D.C., as the American people demand accountability? What about the deep state arrests that were part of Trump's agenda? What we heard from this FBI official is the plan for accountability is essentially no plan, walking out the fraud, judges throwing out the cases, and what that means for Americans is that they will not be getting the arrests and the accountability that they're looking for. Also, I want to reiterate that up to this point at O'Keefe Media and Citizen Journalism Foundation, this is the seventh FBI DOJ official we have done an investigation on the last year. There's been Jamie Menina, Joseph Schnitt, Glenn Prager, Michelle Rosas, Ramit Hassan, Justin Devine. We even did a video regarding Attorney General Pam Bondi talking about the Epstein videos. The American people will apparently now only get the unfiltered truth when a recording is given to me by a citizen journalist. The FBI and the DOJ have got to do better. And if you have information on the inside, you know who to call, not Ghostbusters, not the New York Times. That's to call James O'Keefe on his signal number. Here's the number right here. And you can reach out to us at tips@o'keefemediagroup.com. You know that. People, I want you to understand, it's really up to us. It's not up to the politicians or the senators or the Congress critters. It's really up to the American people to do the job. You may not want to hear that, but I think you know that.
Stay tuned after this short message from our sponsors.
We'll be right back with On the Inside with James O'Keefe.
We all know that words have power.
They set things in motion.
And make us happy or sad.
But there's one word that stands out because when people say it, lives are changed.
It's not a big word.
It's itsy bitsy.
It's only 3 little letters.
But when you say it,
the life of a kid like me can be changed.
So, what is this special word?
It may surprise you.
It's yes.
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 Yes to becoming a monthly supporter of Shriners Hospitals for Children.
That's right. Your monthly support allows the doctors and nurses at Shriners Hospitals for Children to give the most amazing care anywhere and change the lives of kids like me.
And me. And me.
Because people like you have said yes. Now I can play football.
And I can play catch.
And I can walk.
So what do you say? Will you say yes right now?
It's so easy.
All you have to do is pick up the phone or go to loveshriners.org right now and say yes. When you say yes to giving just $19 a month, only 63 cents a day, we'll send you this adorable Love to the Rescue blanket as a reminder of all the kids you're helping every day. My life is filled with possibility because of the monthly support of people just like you who called the number on your screen and said yes.
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 Your yes is making a difference in my life and the lives of so many other kids like me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for giving.
Please call or go online now. If operators are busy, call again or go to loveshriners.org to say yes right away.
He was only 47. Aneurysm. Did he have life insurance? Do you? No. You got to get on it. Check out SelectQuote. Trust me, the peace of mind, it's worth it.
Come on, Dad.
Life insurance is too important to put off another day. That's why SelectQuote makes getting coverage you need easy for less than $1 a day. Now get up to a $2 million policy with no medical exam and same-day coverage.
Visit SelectQuote.com. We shop, you save.
I'm a J6er. I spent 1,143 days in prison.
About a year in prison.
4 years out of an 18-year sentence in prison.
J6ers have been treated like terrorists.
And we need your help.
Stand in the Gap was founded to stand in the gap for J6ers working to rebuild their lives after being incarcerated.
For just $10 or more, you can help these patriots get back on their feet again.
Please scan the QR code to donate $10 or more to support these American patriots.
Thank you for standing in the gap.
Welcome back to On the Inside with your host, James O'Keefe.
Welcome back to another edition of The Price is My Life with James O'Keefe. I'm standing outside the City Hall building. It's actually kind of terrifying because there's literally no security or police as far as the eye can see. You are on your own behind enemy lines. Good people do not come here. Last night, a guy wearing a Trump hat was viciously and savagely attacked by the mob. We've even had a few people give us the evil eye here as I stand here, not undercover, but as James O'Keefe, although I have been pretending to be a homeless person. Let's cut to some footage of me as the homeless guy. It's safe to say that this is a very different type of protest than what I experienced in Minnesota. Very, very different than what I experienced. They don't follow you the same way. It's much different than what we saw over in Minnesota. In order to fit in Los Angeles, you have to do stuff like think that you're a pigeon. I'm 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 a pigeon. They're not the pigeon, I'm the pigeon. They're not the pigeon, I'm the pigeon. They're not the pigeon, I'm the pigeon. And I actually was in the mob. I was inside the mob. We're in Minnesota in negative 12 degrees, and then we're in Los Angeles and we're overheating, we're dehydrated. But it was actually a little more docile here. I think it's the soy boys in California.
If you have extra donations, please make sure the donations are clean and sanitized. We need people to get to volunteer, because that's how we build community, right?
I got to give the corn-fed Minnesota communists credit. They're much better. They're much stronger. The women in Minnesota are more manly than the men in Los Angeles. Shame. But as I stand here today, Don Lemon arrested in Los Angeles, and Karen Bass walked with Don Lemon and getting him out of prison. We actually ran into Karen Bass's chief of staff here in Los Angeles, a very brief interaction, but we're everywhere. Don Lemon officially indicted on federal charges of conspiracy and violating the FACE Act, that's Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances. We're going to go through this indictment. The indictment alleges that Don Lemon and others disrupted. By the way, I'm wearing a lav mic. It's so loud that I'm sure that you guys can hear me, but like it's so loud, and the whistles and the banging. We're staying like 200 yards away from the building and it's still very loud. And they're all filtering in. Get the shot. They're all filtering into just droves of people. They don't wake up until noon, 1, 2 o'clock, and we're going to get out of here by the time they get out. See, they like to blow the horn while I'm talking here. Donald Trump's penis is tiny. Look at this one. Hi. Donald Trump's penis is tiny. Tiny penis, they say. Some say that he has high testosterone, more testosterone than most people in their 70s ever will have, but a lot of, interesting signs here in Los Angeles. If you're just tuning in, this is the Price is My Life show. We're here in Los Angeles, standing here while people filter into the crowd, the mob rule. So going back to Don Lemon, the indictment alleges that he and others physically obstructed a service, intimidating behavior, with claims that Lemon and a colleague largely surrounded a pastor while filming. Lemon, who was documenting the anti-ICE protest, stated he was covering the news and denied being part of the disruption. U.S. District Judge Patricia Donahue ordered Lemon release on his own recognizance, no money bond. Lemon, who indicated he was acting as a journalist, stated he would plead not guilty, calling it an attempt to silence him. Supporters, including lawyers and advocates, characterized the arrest as a dangerous infringement on First Amendment rights. I want to cut to this footage. God, it's so loud out here. You can't even think. I want to cut to the footage of me being raided by the FBI.
This is the search warrant. Open up.
Now, nobody cared. There were some people that cared. You had First Amendment advocates, like at the New York Times, there was a guy named Ben, BuzzFeed Ben at the time. He said journalists shouldn't be cheerleading this, but let's go to this TMZ guy, Harvey. What's his last name?
Harvey Levin.
Harvey Levin at TMZ saying this is going to be the end of democracy. Play that clip.
Arresting Don Lemon, who covered a protest in Minneapolis, is just insane, ridiculous, dictator-like. This is the playbook that dictators use to destroy democracies and take the will of the people away. It is as simple as that.
And I quote tweeted Harvey Levin and said, "You guys said nothing when the FBI raided us." If you're just tuning in, this is James O'Keefe, live, Price is My Life, in Los Angeles outside the courthouse. They've also got some booths where they sign people up for petitions in California. They're, getting people registered to vote. Right behind me, if you want to get a shot of this, go ahead and turn your camera on, please. You've got a booth where people are signing petitions, and we're going to go. Hello there. Hi. We're talking about the Don Lemon situation. What are your thoughts on that, sir? Don Lemon being...
I don't want to distribute. I'm just...
Oh, okay. I thought you wanted to participate. Hey, Mason.
Yep.
Hey, it's very loud. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Some of the people who are pro-life advocates, anti-abortion activists, have expressed opposition to the Don Lemon indictment because it was done on something called the FACE Act. Now, there's two parts of this indictment. One is conspiracy against a religious church-going process, and the other is a violation of the FACE Act. And I wanted to be fair, and I wanted to call my friend pro-life Spider-Man, Mason, to talk about what his perspective is on the FACE Act. Mason, it's very, very loud where I am, but I'm going to do my best to put you on speaker next to the microphone. Tell us your perspective on why you don't think it's a good idea that Don was indicted because of this FACE Act.
Yeah, to start, I think what Don Lemon did was absolutely horrible. And I do not think that it's a good thing to go and block the doors of faithful churches. However, the FACE Act is called the Freedom of Access to Clinic Entryways. It wasn't meant to protect churches. It was meant to protect abortion clinics. The law was written back in 1994 in response to Operation Rescue, which for most people who don't know what that is, it was one of the largest Christian movements, and I think one of the greatest Christian movements in American history. Over 70,000 Christians were beaten by the police and arrested for blocking the doors of abortion clinics in sit-ins, just like Martin Luther King and the civil rights protesters would do. And to stop this, they issued the FACE Act. And what that did was it took a crime, which was trespassing, right? Sit-ins are still illegal, but it's simple trespassing, and it elevated it to 1 year in prison. And then what they do on top of that is they add the conspiracy charge, which is another 10 years in prison. So altogether, for doing a simple sit-in, the same way that Martin Luther King and all of these civil rights protesters protested, you're now facing 11 years in prison.
But Mason, isn't there a different? I mean, Don Lemon appears to have gone into the church, whereas my understanding is pro-life protesters will sit outside on the sidewalk. Is there a factual difference there?
No. The way that the law is written is it's essentially if you're disrupting either or. But what they did to try to appease Christians when they wrote this law was they threw in churches into the mix. So if you block a church, you're in violation of the faith.
I see.
But in reality, I don't think as Christians that we should fear Don Lemon. You look at the early church, they feared being burned at the stake and eaten by lions in the Roman Forum.
Well, do you think it should be a crime to disrupt a church proceeding where you're talking over people and you're like to obstruct a First Amendment or a religious, because there's two counts here. One is the FACE Act, and the other is just a conspiracy to stop a religious proceeding.
Yeah, well, the conspiracy goes with the FACE Act. They're paired together.
I see.
It's really a weapon that they use to weaponize against Christians and other protesters. I mean, I just took a plea deal to get off of a conspiracy charge in Las Vegas. My father-in-law, he faced 11 years in prison. 1 year for the FACE violation and then 10 years for the conspiracy charge. And to answer your question, though, do I think it should be a crime? Yes, and it already is, but it's called trespassing.
Trespassing, I see. And that's a misdemeanor local. Yeah, it remains unclear if this is actually going to stick, Mason. I mean, I think it's going to be a challenge for the DOJ to bring this all the way to its conclusion. But thank you for your perspective as a protester and as an activist. I think it's important for us to be neutral or fair here. Anything else you want to add on the FACE Act part of the indictment?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing as a pro-lifer and a Christian is that we want to see the FACE Act taken away. We want to see it abolished so that we can go and we can protest in the same manner peacefully that the people who protested in the past did. And what you see anytime the government over prosecutes as a result is usually violence. And this happened with every movement, and it did happen with the pro-life movement as well. And I think that if we go and we prosecute in the same manner the left, I foresee that the same outcome will happen. The left will start to get even more violent than they already are.
Well, thanks, Mason. I appreciate the information, and we'll stay in touch.
Yep, God bless.
Okay, God bless. That was Mason, pro-life Spider-Man who climbs the buildings. Alex Honnold was another guy who's been climbing buildings recently for the Netflix special, but Mason has been doing it as well. Let's go to the indictment of Don Lemon. If you're just tuning in, we're in Los Angeles outside the City Hall building as the mob is descending around me. And what's remarkable about these dynamics is that there's no police officers. unlike where you're from or where your town is, there's police. There is no police because there's no incentives for the police to do their jobs. And we're breaking the story of an FBI person on the inside of the FBI saying that there's going to be no arrests and no accountability, which has not come as a surprise to you, but it's good to get them on tape admitting to it. Let's go to the indictment here of Don Lemon. I believe, as a matter of public policy, that when journalists are arrested, and you might say, what's a journalist? Well, it's up to a jury or a jury of your peers to decide what a journalist is. But what a reasonable person would say, someone who is engaged in the act of journalism, which is a pretty broad definition. I think when the government is going to arrest journalists or indict journalists, and I myself have been arrested as a journalist, I've been raided as a journalist, I think it's important for the United States government to show the probable cause that's contained in the affidavit. You have to be transparent about the reasons why you are indicting or arresting them. Now, some of that, we're going to cut to some video here of Don Lemon with his microphone talking about how he's engaged in a conspiracy.
If you see this, when we first pulled up, we're like, wait a minute, which operation are we at? And as it turns out, because we were like, well, this is kind of MAGA coded, right? Saw the American flag or whatever, but these are resistance protesters. They're planning an operation that we're going to follow them on. I can't tell you exactly what they're doing, but it's called Operation Pull Up. And it's Takima Armstrong, and she has been doing this since George Floyd, Dante Wright, and others, where they surprise people, catch them off guard, and hold them to account. And so that's what we're doing here. And then after we do this operation, you'll see it live. And these operations are surprise operations. Again, can't tell you where they're going. After we do this operation, you'll see it live. It may look like MAGA coded, but there's a reason they have so many white people here. I'm just going to be honest. It's because of the operation that they're doing today. It's important to have allies, as they said, white allies here. So that is what I could say. I turned our camera off of them because they're giving some critical information here. We got stuck in the snow trying to get here, had to produce it in real time, go here. As soon as we walked in, almost perfect timing, the protesters stood up. What do you think of this?
I mean, this is unacceptable. It's shameful. It's shameful to interrupt a public gathering of Christians in worship.
But there were folks who will say,
I have to take care of my flock.
Okay, but listen, we live there's a Constitution and the First Amendment to freedom of speech and freedom to assemble and protest.
Yeah. We're here to worship. We're here to worship Jesus because that's the hope of these cities. That's the hope of the world is Jesus Christ.
I want to be very respectful. Please don't push me, though.
We're here to worship Jesus. Yes. That's why we're here. Yeah. Okay. That's why we're here. Okay. That's what we're about.
Don't you think Jesus would be understanding
we're about
and love these folks?
We're about spreading the love of Jesus.
But did you try to talk to them as a Christian?
No one is willing to talk.
Okay.
I have to take care of my church and my family, so I asked that you actually would also leave this building.
You don't want us to chronicle what happened?
Unless you're here to worship.
I'm always worship. I'm a Christian.
We're here to worship. Yeah. We're here to worship. Okay.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And here Don Lemon is on the video, and he's saying that we are going to do this. So he's participating in, he's playing a part in what could be perceived as a crime. Now, I don't know if that's the probable cause because I haven't seen the probable cause contained in the FBI affidavit. I think they should make that transparent. Now, when the FBI raided my home, and we eventually saw the affidavit 4 years later, it was completely redacted. So we do not know what got the magistrate judge in New York to sign off on the raid. So I think it's important as a matter of public policy for the United States government to make it transparent. What is the probable cause contained in the affidavit when they arrest a journalist? Now, many people in the comments would say that Don Lemon isn't a journalist or James O'Keefe isn't a journalist. I mean, according to the law, it really doesn't matter what you think about whether you like me or like Don Lemon. I think it's important as a matter of the First Amendment and the Fourth Amendment and searches and seizures of reporters and reporters' notebooks that we know what's contained in the affidavit. Let's take a look at count 1, 18 U.S.C. 241, conspiracy against right of religious freedom at places of worship. This is from the indictment. Defendants, including Lemon, met at a shopping center for a pre-op briefing. Hello. We are in Los Angeles. We are in the belly of the beast. And it says that Lemon, once at the church, all the defendants entered the church to conduct a takeover-style attack and engage in various acts in the furtherance of the conspiracy. This is going to be a very fine line, blocking worshipers from exiting the building in a church. Overt act. At one point, I guess you could say that because the indictment's been unsealed, this is sort of like a probable cause. Lemon posted himself at the main door of the church where he confronted some congregants and physically obstructed them as they tried to exit the church. Now, listen, in my case when I was raided, there wasn't even a colorable crime when someone sent me the Biden diary, and they still raided me at gunpoint. So you can't be for the James O'Keefe FBI raid and against the Don Lemon arrest. The two ideas are completely mutually exclusive. But it appears as though in Don Lemon's case, at least there was something, maybe a little misdemeanor trespass, some type of at least misdemeanor crime. But in my case, nothing. And we're being recorded here by the protest. Now let's go and walk over to the tabling events and see what they're exactly petitioning for here in Los Angeles, California.
Stay tuned after this short message from our sponsors.
We'll be right back with On the Inside with James O'Keefe.
This was the last thing my Charlie ever wrote. The message of Jesus changes everything, changes your life, your choices, your eternity. And Charlie wanted to leave behind something that would point people to Christ, not to fame or power, just truth.
If everything completely goes away, how do you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered for courage for my faith. That would be the most important thing. Most important thing is my faith in my life.
My husband called his final book, Stop in the Name of God, because resting in God's grace is what our world has forgotten to do. So just stop and listen, believe and rest, because this is Charlie's final and greatest message to all of us.
I'm actually finishing a book. So I actually don't work one day out of the week. So I take a Sabbath every Saturday. Turn my phone off, no work, just kids, just family. It's an amazing blessing. Every Saturday, totally off. It's amazing how much work you can get done in 6 days though. I believe that honoring the Sabbath is the commandment that allows you to honor the other 9 commandments. When you're honoring the Sabbath, it's easier to have no other gods before God because that day is built in time as a temple, as a sanctuary to put God first, to not have idols. If you are feeling overrun by society, you might be feeling depressed or anxious, turn your phone off for one day. No social media, no work. Your mental health will improve dramatically. You can hang out with friends, you can go for a walk, but don't work for one day. That is a day for worship. That is a day for the Lord. That is a day to go be with God. That is a day to read your Bible and be out of the busyness and the hurriedness and the noise of this world. I could be traveling for 5 or 6 days, but if I at least get one good Sabbath with my family, it charges all back up.
Call, scan, or go online to support TPUSA and receive your copy of Charlie's final book.
It's fun for me to win on the course, but it's even more fun to win on Deal Dash.
Lori won $2,000 Tiffany earrings for just $1, and Joseph won an iPad for just $6. There's millions of fast auctions. So try today at DealDash.com for $50 of free credit and your first win guaranteed.
Hey folks, it's your friend John Rich. I co-founded Old Glory Bank because we heard too many stories about people getting canceled by their bank because they didn't agree with their politics. The government wanted to know where you shop. If you bought a Bible or you shopped at a sporting goods store, you're probably on a list. We created Old Glory Bank because America needed a bank that would protect their privacy and security. Exercising your constitutional rights is not a criminal activity, and neither is loving your country. At Old Glory Bank, we stand with you.
Did you know that thousands of authors across the country have written books and published them with Page Publishing? If you've written a book, Page Publishing can help you through the process. We cut through the confusion of the publishing world to make it easy for you.
Call or scan for your free writer's guide today.
Welcome back to On the Inside with your host, James O'Keefe.
So we're here, and if you're just tuning in, this is the Price is My Life with James O'Keefe. We're outside the City Hall here. Take a look. And they've got these tabling events. They've got the tabling events here. It says Tax the Billionaires. Look. Tax the Billionaires. Hello. Hi. How are you doing? We're with the media.
Hi.
Are you working here?
Yes, sir.
May I ask you a question about this, or what proposal is this? What ballot?
We have 13 different statewide petitions. Each one is for a different cause. The one that we're leading with is providing permanent funding for our schools and our healthcare. We do have more like this is going to make sure, so like with ICE going around, they're trying to make a law that prohibits you from contacting your own lawyer. We're trying to stop that law from happening. We have one that holds rideshare companies more liable for sexual assault that happens in their vehicles. We have one that taxes billionaires 5%. So
5% tax on billionaires?
One-time tax, 5%, and that's going to go towards healthcare and food service, our food assistance program.
Which organization are you guys with?
So we're independent contractors, so we get hired out like by political consultant firms, and basically we get to go pick up the petitions we believe in, push them out, we get paid for it, and we get to make a difference.
How much is an opportunity like this worth? $30 an hour, $20 an hour?
It's per signature, so it depends on the ones you get signed. So like this one, for example, is $4. There's another one that's $7.
You get paid per signature. I see. So it's that's pretty good. $7 per signature. That's good.
Yeah. So if you get somebody to sign all of them right now, and including the county and city petitions, it's $91 per person.
Now you don't give people money to sign it.
No, that's illegal.
Oh, that's illegal.
I can't even hand out water.
Really? Mm-hmm. You can't even hand out water? It's very hot in Los Angeles.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's like voter ID, or no, not voter ID. It's voter fraud that they will call it.
Voter fraud?
Yeah, you're basically enticing somebody. Hey, if you sign all these, I'll give you a free water.
I mean, it is pretty warm in Los Angeles.
It is. I think the law. I think it's stupid, but I mean, you know.
What's stupid?
That we can't hand out water.
Yeah. Who pays per signature?
So like I said, the political consultant firms, they hire us out.
Oh.
But then they get paid for by whoever's funding the petition. So
do you know which firms there are if I want to go work for one of these groups?
So the one that I work for, it's pen to paper canvassing.
Pen to paper canvassing.
Yeah. So that's who I answer to. But like for example, like this petition is funded by Uber Technologies.
Uber is behind it.
Yeah.
May I look at one of these, or may I touch it? Or
yeah. Just as long as you don't get any signatures.
No, we don't want to.
Names on the camera.
Yeah. We're here in Los Angeles, outside the petitioners. You're tuning in live to My Price of My Life with James O'Keefe. We're looking at the things they're signing. We're not allowed to look at any signatures, but it says top funders, Delta United American Hotel. Is this who's funding this?
That's who's funding that specific petition.
Okay.
So each petition is funded by somebody else.
So these are the petitioners, and we want to get the signatures as the protesters come into it. There's a lot of people.
Exactly.
And we get paid $4 to $7 per signature. That's a lot of money.
It is.
That's good money.
Yep.
That's great money.
That's why it's like, you know, I make really good money. I get to push things that I believe in.
Yeah.
So it's like a win-win.
And we're looking at this petition, Top Funders, LA Alliance for Tourism, Jobs in Progress, and Uber is also behind this too a little bit. Yeah.
Uber is behind the car accident victims for lawyers.
Car accident victim for lawyers.
So
yeah.
Basically making sure that if you're involved in a car accident, you take home 75% of what the court says you're supposed to.
All right. Well, thanks for talking to us today. Thank you. All right. Hello. Who works here?
We work here.
You work there? Now tell us who you're with.
I'm with the petitioner. I'm with petition.
Which petitioner are you with?
I'm with his name Phil.
What is it called?
Hold on, let me show you.
Hello. Do you work here? We're just asking questions. We're with the press, learning about all of this. Let me see what this is. It says memorandum on petition circulation at constitutionally protected. Now, which organization are you with?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No, I don't know. I don't know what organization I'm with. I have to give them a call.
Are you paid to do this?
Of course. Okay. Of course.
How much are you?
Signature.
How much are you paid?
By signature. Each petition is different price.
Yeah.
So walk over.
It depends.
Yeah, I don't want to film any signatures. You guys stay back.
I know. Let me walk you through it.
Yeah, show me.
So, hey, you all signed already? Stop and sign just to get it on the ballot. $7 a signature, 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 $5 a signature, $4 a signature.
Okay, I got you.
$10 a signature, $10 a signature.
That's pretty good money right there.
That's very good money.
That's big money.
That is yes.
And how much money, would you make on it?
I try to make over $1,000 a day.
That's a lot of money.
At least $1,200.
Who pays you? It says we the
Populous. This is the company I work for. So it's different.
We the people.
So different coordinators, get contracts and start these companies, and get people like me and him who are independent contractors, and
And should we tax the billionaires more, or will they just leave the state?
We should tax them.
Tax them.
Tax the billionaires.
How much fraud is there in the state of California? Order of magnitude.
I have millions, hundreds of millions, I can imagine,
Hundreds of millions of fraud.
Hundreds of millions.
So should we tax the billionaires or get rid of the fraud?
Both.
Both. Okay, that's fair, I guess.
You should do both.
I get billionaires say they're going to leave the state.
But it's impossible to stop fraud. Would have been happening, right? Don't you think?
I guess that's a question about human nature. Can we stop the fraud? Well, what if the incentives are to keep doing the fraud, then people keep doing the fraud. If no one is punished for the fraud, then I guess the fraud won't stop happening.
Punishment only goes to a certain extent,
Yeah.
Like if you're a strong human being, punishment is nothing, So.
Well, I consider myself pretty strong. Peace.
We strong. We the people.
We the people. I agree with that. We the people. What are we smoking?
We smoking good cannabis from California.
California cannabis?
California cannabis. They put a lot of taxes on it. I don't know why.
Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you.
We're here in Los Angeles. If you're just tuning in, we're in the show is The Price Is My Life. Every week at 1 o'clock we break a report, and today's report was on the FBI director saying that no one's going to be held accountable for anything. And he's on tape, and you see these canvassers here. Tune in next week as we go undercover as homeless in the NGOs here in Los Angeles. And what we found, it will shock the conscience, the fraud, the abuse, and the waste in the state of California, undercover inside the NGOs as a homeless man. You'll see this video of me, play the video again, of me posing as a homeless man saying I'm a pigeon.
I'm a pigeon. They ain't a pigeon, I'm a pigeon. They ain't a pigeon, I'm a pigeon.
Now, I'm going to buy some street food, get in the car to my next appointment. Tune in next week, 1 o'clock Eastern Time. The Price Is My Life.
This was On the Inside with James O'Keefe. Thanks for watching.
Half protection is not enough. Using just an antivirus online is also not enough. Get better online protection with NordVPN. It will encrypt your online traffic, protect you from malware, phishing, and stop annoying ads. Get NordVPN now.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, ride your bike.
If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it.
If you're happy and you know it, smile big and bright.
Thousands of kids just like me are happy every day.
And it's all because of generous people like you who support Shriners Hospitals for Children every month.
All you have to do is call the number on your screen or go online to loveshriners.org right now with your monthly gift.
Because of people like you, Shriners Hospitals for Children is able to make an everyday miracle happen for kids like me.
If you're happy and you know it, dance around. If you're happy and you know it, play a song.
If you're happy and you know it, and your face will surely show it.
If you're happy and you know it, take a shot.
And when you call or go online right now to donate $19 a month or more, we'll send you this adorable Love to the Rescue blanket as a thank you and a reminder of all the smiles you're bringing to kids' faces every day.
Will today be the day you send your love to the rescue?
When you call the number on your screen right now and give as little as $19 a month, just 63 cents a day, you'll be making a life-changing difference for a child, just like Sarah.
Your monthly gift today could change your life forever.
Because of you.
We are happy and we know it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please call or go online right now to give. If operators are busy, please wait patiently or go to loveshriners.org right away.
It's fun for me to win on the course, but it's even more fun to win on Deal Dash.
Lori won $2,000 Tiffany earrings for just $1, and Joseph won an iPad for just $6. There's millions of fast auctions, so try today at DealDash.com for $50 of free credit and your first win guaranteed.
The bathroom of your dreams is only a phone call away with BCI Bath and Shower. We can make your ordinary bath and shower extraordinary. This is not a cookie cutter design. This is a complete custom build that will fit your every need, and discounts for seniors and military.
We're located inside of the prison of Secot. We just entered the first inspection point through inside of Secot. We're about to go in.
Esos son los filtros de seguridad que tenemos nosotros acá, dado a que lo que nosotros tenemos acá son internos de alto riesgo, miembros de las estructuras criminales como la MS-13, la pandilla 18 sureños y revolucionarios. Nuestro trabajo es evitar que exista una comunicación desde el interior hacia el exterior o viceversa. Por eso los protocolos de seguridad.
On the interior of Secot, this is the weaponry of the correctional officers that they use in case there is going to be some kind of a riot or some kind of a situation, which it has never happened, and it is extremely difficult for it to happen. It is amazing the level of artillery that they have, long artillery guns, long machinery guns, for them to be prepared for these terrorists in case of something happens.
Monitoreo aquí es 724. No podemos nosotros permitir ninguna falla en este sistema de seguridad. Así que vamos.
We're about to enter right now one of the sections where these terrorists are located. So let's just walk in. This is what it needs to be done in every part in Central America and in South America. This is how you fight terrorism. This is how you clean a country. This is how you bring peace to the citizens, not stepping away from them, not running away from the problems. This right here is how you resolve a problem to remove every single terrorist that is located right here. It is because they were terrorizing the Salvadorian people.
Gracias a todo este esfuerzo, gracias a estas políticas de seguridad, El Salvador se ha transformado y nuestras familias hoy pueden disfrutar.
This has been completely shocking to see the level of order that they have inside of this facility. The tension, you can actually feel it because these are terrorists, these are criminals. But this is a way to resolve the problem. I emphasize a lot on that.
Ya cumplimos 3 años de estar operando en esta prisión. Hasta este momento ya vamos cerca del 50% de la capacidad que tiene esta prisión, que es para 40,000 privados de libertad.
Nayib Bukele understood that this was a cancer, that it was metastasizing, it was expanding to the whole continent, and he completely eliminated by putting them in these cages. That is what they deserve.
¿Cuántos crímenes cometiste en los Estados Unidos?
Me he visto involucrado en múltiples crímenes.
Es categorizado como un terrorista. Los cárteles son terroristas.
Nosotros fuimos asociados a la mafia mexicana, al Sur 13, en el año 89. Luego comenzamos a crecer ya como organización, parte del Sur.
¿Los consideras terroristas?
Nosotros hemos sido calificados como terroristas, como una de las mafias más peligrosas a nivel mundial.
¿Los crímenes que cometiste fueron infrahumanos?
Hemos cometido crímenes por ajustes de cuenta entre pandillas. El problema era entre pandillas.
¿Te arrepientes de uno de tus crímenes?
La verdad, aunque me arrepienta, solo Dios me puede perdonar, pero sí hemos reconocido que los equivocamos. El error de nosotros fue haberlos hecho de la pandilla. Y aunque yo esté acá pagando una condena o esté pagando múltiples delitos, pero mi familia, el pueblo salvadoreño, el mundo entero esté en paz afuera.
This is one of the holding facilities of punishment, as they say in the United States in the federal system. The shoe is completely dark. I'm going to close the door for a little bit. Let me just see. Vamos a cerrar la puerta más poquito. Let's see if they can close the door just a little bit. For you guys to understand, there's no light whatsoever. The only light that you are going to get, it's basically just the light that they open right here. That's about it. This is the punishment that these terrorists are receiving. This is how they are. If they behave wrong, if they don't listen to the indications of the director, this is what they get. No light, only one top light, as you see on top of this holding facility. They open right here in case that they want to, give them the food, or they need to cuff them to move them to somewhere else. And also, they have a little window right here where they check when they got to give them medical or they want to give them attention. That is about it. So you better think about it if you are committing some kind of infraction right here inside of Secot. Gracias. They're giving also their opportunity to do exercise. So for these humanitarians that are saying that they don't have a right to have direct time, they have the opportunity to do their exercise also in the middle of this facility. When you terrorize a country, when you bring terror to a community, and when you have a president that actually wants to fix the country and bring peace to the citizens, this is what you get. All of this. It is coming for you. All you narco politicians, all you cartel leaders in Mexico and Central America and also North America. It's coming. It is a wave of justice that is coming all the way from the north, from the south, all the way to the north. It's actually happening, thanks to Nayib Bukele.
Freedom to speak your mind, freedom to protest policies you don't like, freedom to start a business, freedom to own property, freedom to vote, freedom to flourish. It's easy to take these things for granted, but for many people around the world, freedom is merely a dream, and those who fight for it risk losing everything, their reputations, their livelihoods, even their lives. Scan the QR code now or visit atlasnetwork.org/rev today to help freedom become a reality for people fighting back against authoritarianism. With your gift gift of just $19 a month, we'll send you an exclusive Atlas Network hat. Plus, we'll send the print edition of our Freedom's Champion magazine to your door. Atlas Network was founded to help pro-freedom organizations around the world develop, implement, and defend policies that foster freedom against tyranny. Visit atlasnetwork.org/RAV or scan the QR code now to help us make freedom a reality for millions of people around the world. Donate $19 a month to receive your exclusive hat.
Donald Trump Jr. here with an urgent message about retirement accounts in America. My father just changed 401ks forever by initiating the process that will allow gold into 401ks. But here's even better news. You don't need to wait for your 401k provider. You can use this strategy today. With a self-directed gold IRA from the Birch Gold Group, you can convert your IRA or 401k into an account with all the same tax benefits, but you own something that will be there when you need it. To find out more, click the link below to get a free info kit on gold IRAs from my trusted friends at the Birch Gold Group. Inside, they will show you exactly how to diversify your IRA